one of the biggest trials, one of the most sensational trials, and it's been, pardon the pun, titillating. If you watched Shades of Grey, Jian Ghomeshi, the closing arguments, and it's been actually a crazy trial because his lawyer basically picked apart the witnesses for this case. And what's bizarre and very uncommon is that the Crown, which is our version of the District of Attorney, or the did not cross-examine anybody. Everybody rested, and I believe that the burden of proof was not met. And I think that the outcome is going to be in his favor, even though whether he does not get convicted as for sexual interference or a sexual crime, he has been committed anyways because he's been discredited as an anchor, and this has cost him a fortune. So either way, it's basically like a Fellini movie. He loses either way. What do you think, Eric?
Well, I followed the case, obviously, when it first came about, and I'll be honest, if they were able to discredit these witnesses, that's pretty incredible because it seemed like the evidence Mr. Ghomeshi was pretty overwhelming, especially with the amount of women that came forward.
Eric, I don't think it has anything to do with discrediting the witnesses. I think the witnesses discredited themselves because they lied, and I think that the burden of proof is on the Crown Attorney to prove a case of guilt,
right?
On the defendant, Mr. Ghomeshi, who's being alleged a very serious crime.
Well, the evidence seemed to me to be pretty overwhelming, Frank, against Ghomeshi, right? Like it was one of those things that we see, like in a case.
From the press, based on the press.
Yeah, well, you're right. Based on what I read, the evidence was overwhelming against him. So, if he is able to avoid, guilty charges, you brought up a good point. His career, is done. He had a good thing going at the CBC. That's all done.
Canada,
so that's
end up on Sirius Radio. His career is done in Canada.
Yeah,
I believe. I could be wrong. And also, his defense has cost him a fucking fortune.
It has. Now, the verdict's expected to be delivered in March is what I'm seeing, but, I went into this thinking there's no way he's going to get out of this without being proven guilty. If he does...
So, okay, that's fine. Now, what way are you now after you've heard the testimony and the 5,000 emails between the two complainants, where... two major star witnesses,
right?
Where it's almost like there's collusion, or they were complicit in trying to bring this guy down, and they lied to the police. And I got out of it, right?
Yeah, no, and you're right. In the legal system, you've got to be proven guilty, and if you are caught trying collusion against the person who is on the stand, then even if that person is guilty, you pretty much just screwed your case.
Oh, I'm just saying, I thought the Crown should have done a better.
I agree.
Diligence and a better job with the witnesses. What do you think, Billy?
Well, I think the Crown recognized early that the two ladies had got their wires crossed. Pardon the pun. I don't think there's any question that Ghomeshi had some form of sexual deviance. Whether it was assault, battery, or none of the other, he still was a different dude when it came to making advances to his lady friends. They did nothing to support that with the evidence that the ladies put forth. Whether it was the emails or whether it was wanting to come back and see him 5 months later, there didn't seem to be much.
I agree with you, Billy, but I think that the thing is with one of the complainants said that they were so disgusted by him that they couldn't hear his voice or watch him or see him in any form, and then that did not support that statement because then there was emails from her to him and pictures of a bikini and try to seduce him or get him back. So, anyways. I think that he's going to pay the price for his sexual preference, but I really don't think he will be convicted because I don't believe that the Crown proved beyond a reasonable doubt that there is what there is.
Well,
yeah, which is very surprising to me. I really believed that Ghomeshi was going to go down and was going to go down hard. So
He's gone down hard. He's lost his career.
Mm-hmm.
This has cost him a fortune to defend himself, to keep himself out of jail. He's become a social pariah in Canada, his homeland. So I think it cost him dearly. Is he going to prison? I'd be very surprised.
No, and you know what, Frank? I'll be interested to see what the Crown does. Have they already done closing arguments?
no, they haven't been done yet.
Today.
I mean, he's got to have something there within the definition of sexual assault. Otherwise,
they're dealing with a judge.
It's a evil case.
There's no jury. They're dealing with a judge, and a judge is very. I think most judges go by the letter of the law. If the burden of proof has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt, I think that the Crown has not done that, and today's their closing arguments. We'll find out tomorrow. I'm pretty sure the judge's not going to make a decision today at 3:00. I think he'll make a decision tomorrow if both counsel and Crown have omitted their closing statements.
It's being reported, Frank, the judge is not going to come up with a final decision until March, actually.
Okay, so he's going to read everything. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, the Ghomeshi ruling will be delivered on March 24th.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I agree with that. You give him a chance to contemplate and take a look at everything. I agree with that.